we would not have been able to disrupt that work. Investigating IDAC is investigating a small part. We're investigating, not to minimize the corruption, but we're investigating one matter.
Advocate Shamila, the woman who is fighting crime, is slowly becoming a suspect. She started well, but now she's digging a hole that would be hard to fill. The question is that, is she really fighting corruption, or she's acting like she's against corruption? Honorable Malema is about to expose her failures and incompetence in a way no one ever had. They all just trusted her, but not Mr. Malema.
Let's go and see how the EFF use their time. Your time starts now, Honorable Malema.
Thank you, Chair. You know that you can say all those type of things you are saying. I will never be under pressure. I'm not the type to be under pressure. So you're praising everyone so that I can also finish within a limited time. Advocate, I will assume that you are a supporter of our current democratic dispensation, and that this constitution we have is one of the documents that are trying to protect us as South Africans and whoever finds himself within our country.
That is correct, Honorable Malema.
And any anti-democratic practices, you will never subscribe to those, even if you are emotionally, very strong on a particular issue. As long as it's not consistent with the law and the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, you will never agree to that.
I don't, Honorable Malema.
So let's say, for instance, for crime intelligence, for it to listen to people, they have to go to a judge and get a permit. It's a good thing to do under democracy.
Honorable Malema, for me, I think they call it the Act 70 interceptions. For me, that should be a last resort. But it should be a well-motivated, absolute reason. For me, the only reason, really, would be a threat to national security. I'm not sure that we would have needed to use it otherwise. That would be the one where I say maybe it should be used. But then it also shouldn't be based on hearsay, because that is unfortunately how some of the Act 70s work. It's a lot of in-the-air stories.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, under whatever circumstances, as an institution that operates under the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, when that need arises, you ought to go to a judge so that we don't wake up willy-nilly through pillow talk. Someone spoke about pillow talk, and then you wake up during the conversation of the pillow talk, baby, let's listen to him, without a permission of a judge. That will be anti-democratic practices.
Absolutely, Honorable Malema.
Even when there is a huge protest and you're feeling like we're losing control under the democratic dispensation, it will be an anti-democratic practice to switch off the social network or the internet. Do you agree?
Sounds correct, yes.
Because our constitution has got mechanisms within which we can work to control whatever situation we find ourselves without being emotional and wanting to act outside the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa.
Not just the Constitution, Honorable Malema, but also the law. The
Yes.
law makes very specific provisions about when interception, monitoring, and listening can be done. So it's doubly protected, according to me.
Yes. And an institution like IDAC, it is only democratic practice that with the power it has, I mean, I heard you saying you got the phone, you were able to take out what from the phone of Matlala and all of that. That's a very powerful institution, and it shouldn't be a matter of discussion between people who subscribe to democratic practices, not to want to subject themselves to check and balances, because it might not be you tomorrow. It can be someone there who will abuse that power and violate the rights of people if there are no checks and balances in the form of a judge who will be able to say, look, 1, 2, 3 is unacceptable, it can't be done this way. we're thinking you are going outside the law or you are even violating the Constitution.
That is correct.
And it shouldn't be something difficult to agree about that. Actually, Minister Cele was correct that we were potential victims of abuse of power when this institution of Judge Raulinga Mushabi was not in place. Because that thing you're talking about of, if you do this, we take you to labor, that is supervision, it's not oversight. If you make a mistake, they report you to a senior, it's supervision. Oversight is much bigger than that. And it serves to protect the institution of democracy more than a mere labor issue, more than a mere criminal issue. It's very broad, and in its characterization is designed in such a way that it must secure in the main our constitution and the law against a potential abuser of the law.
I agree with you, Honorable Malema, and that should IDEC have wanted to monitor or conduct interceptions, it would have had to do it in terms of the law.
Now,
even in the time when there wasn't the Honorable Raulinga J.
Now, there was a Nugent Commission, Mpati Commission, Zondo Commission, and all of that, which spoke to certain issues of corruption and all. When you look at these matters, you spoke about the Nugent Commission, that this is the high-profile case we're dealing with, and this and that one. Percentage-wise, when you put all of these commissions together, you think how many people have you arrested and to what extent have you been successful? Because one of the cases that you should be handling, I know it must be referred to you, but if you're talking Zondo Commission, state capture reports, Busasa is one of the outstanding matters of Zondo Commission. And IDEC should be saying to us, since then, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have arrested and we have succeeded with the following cases. Do you think you have done well on those 3 commission's recommendations, if matters were referred to you?
We could have done more, but at the time, before the permanency of August 2024, Honorable Malema, we were unable to recruit permanent capability, and we were working on contract positions and duty reassigned. So it is disproportionate, and we have to change our game. In terms of the Bosasa matters, we do have Bosasa matters that are in court, and there are other matters that are under investigation. And in fact, there were 5 new matters that were authorized by the ID as well. So we have quite a few matters that are under investigation and matters that are in court. Patrick Gillingham, Lyndam T., Vincent Smith, Agritzi. We had the matter for the late Medudu Mieni. With her passing, Mr. Matendra is still on trial, and the trial commenced this week. And that matter continues. And then there are other investigations that continue. None of the Bosasa matters that were mentioned at the commission have been closed. If that might be a concern.
It becomes worrisome that, there could be, and I like what you said, that, you want to act with evidence and only with evidence and overwhelming evidence so that you don't make mistakes and mess up these cases. But there are so high-profile people who are mentioned in Busasa. One of them is the national chairperson of the ANC, who's a minister, Gwedemantashi. The other one is Nomvula Mkwenyane, who ate chickens every December. Agrizi said he was sending chicken every month that's supposed to go to prisoners. Is going to Nomvula. And will such people not be people of interest? Because our inability to defeat corruption is that the high-profile individuals with money don't get to be prosecuted. And these things came out public, we were all there, and all of that.
So, Honorable Malema, I take the point. However, those investigations continue. What did hamper us is the evidence we sought. We had to get, the only other person who could give us that evidence was Angelo Agrizzi, who was also an accused. Angelo Agrizzi has, in the past month, now deposed to Section 204 affidavits on various individual matters that we did not have previously. We must now move with those matters. And they are among the
I'll
matters
tell you
that
where I
you
come
referred
from,
to.
Advocate. Khumalo gets arrested for labor-related matter. And then there are these people who have been eating chickens and eating food of prisoners and blessed with Austin Martins and all of that. A person is accused of irregular appointment, and that becomes a big issue when we've got this other. So when this is presented before us, it looks like there are others who are treated differently and others are treated differently. But I'm happy that you are saying we are coming close to making more arrests with the 204 we got from Agrizzi. So my question will be, I'm moving from that one. When does it become an irregular appointment? And when does it become crime?
She can't answer that, Mr. Malema. Just like you said, they have favorites which the urgency is reserved for, or maybe not. But the exchange you just witnessed is more than just political theatre. It's a gut-wrenching moment of reckoning for South Africa's entire justice system. The question Julius Malema is posing is the one that echoes across every community. If the National Director of Public Prosecutions, with all her resources, with all her power, cannot put the big fish behind bars, then who can? Advocate Shamila has been the face of institutional renewal for years, yet her own admissions have been sobering. We are not winning the fight against organized crime. That is not a simple statement. It's an institutional surrender. The crisis is not just that the state was captured. The greater tragedy is that the institutions tasked with uncapturing it are seemingly powerless or unwilling to act decisively. Malema's accusation of incompetence, while political, hits a nerve because it speaks to the pervasive impunity enjoyed by the powerful. The public does not care about complex legal technicalities, staff shortages, or budget deficits. They care about accountability. When the person at the helm of the NPA, who started her career as a prosecutor in Chatsworth in 1986, is publicly accused of failing to execute the very power she was appointed to wield, public trust does not just decline, it collapses. This is a profound institutional failure that allows the real criminals to walk free, strengthening the chilling suspicion that the law only applies to the weak.